Hello there friends, CSGO Live here. In today's video we've got some big stories. F0REST decides to retire, Fallen's prize has been revealed, and we've got a lot of details from the RMR Tournament as the teams are arriving in China. Plus we've got tons of other exciting news, and of course we will discuss the Drillas. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. And I think we shall kick off today's episode with some intriguing stats. So as you might know, AMD has released a new gaming processor, the 9800X3D, and people managed to hit an insane 1269 frames per second in CS2. Just imagine, it's like 100 times more than you have? Anyways, to pull this off, the CPU was overclocked to 6.9 GHz and paired with an RTX 4090. If only everyone could enjoy this kind of FPS and lag-free service as well, but I guess that's just wishful thinking at this point. My friends, what's your FPS in CS2? For example, I have 4070 and 5800X3D if I remember it correctly, and I have around like 250 FPS, which is a lot and I'm kinda satisfied. So yeah, show yours in the comments below. Speaking of insane numbers, let's talk about M0NESY. People believe that Ilya will hit sky-high numbers at the Shanghai Major, and mostly because he parted ways with his controversial girlfriend. Many people believe that M0NESY will not have any troubles putting up like a 1.8 rating or even higher at the Major. Others are even saying that M0NESY will play the best tournament of his career and finally win a Major. It looks like this might be the first time that a breakup genuinely benefits a player, at least that's what we're hoping for. By the way friends, we can discuss and predict Ilya's rating at the Major in the comments below. For example, I guess that it will be around 1.70 or 75, something like that. Share your predictions in the comments below, or for example on our Twitter. If you're still not following us, just do it via the link in the description. By the way, we know exactly where you'll find the latest and coolest PCs, at the new Mouz headquarters in Hamburg. The Mouz players have already trained there to simulate the pressure of a LAN tournament. Alongside the massive arena, there are smaller rooms with racing sims and other gaming setups. The headquarters display all the Mouz's trophies. And just a couple of days ago they held a fan event where anyone could come get autographs from their favorite players and grab some team merch. I mean, the whole arena, the whole headquarters, it just looks amazing to me. If I ever come to Hamburg, I will definitely visit the Mouz's headquarters. We're just curious if the arena will be open to visitors on other days or it will just stay solely as a training base. Anyways, looks really cool, so kudos to Mouz. And you know what guys, speaking of hardware, let's turn to RMRs, where the PCs will have unusual components. So instead of the usual BenQ monitors, AGON will be used. And can you guess why it was done? Basically because BenQ is a Taiwanese company and there are, let's say, complex relations between China and Taiwan. So it's obviously due to political reasons. AGON is just a series of monitors by AOC. And you know what's funny? Actually, it's also a Taiwanese brand, but it is a subsidiary of TPV Technology, a Chinese company. And many players have already questioned why there couldn't be an exception, given that everyone is used to playing with BenQ monitors. However, the organizers assured that the gameplay experience won't be affected, even with less familiar equipment. And still guys, I just have to mention that these AGON monitors will feature a 540Hz refresh rate, which is a lot. So I guess we will see what the pros will say. And since we're on the topic of RMRs, let's continue. As you know, the first teams have already arrived to the RMRs to play, and the players recently showed the gifts from the organizers. So it's basically a huge case, styled like the Kilowatt case from CS2, and it's filled with personalized keycaps, jackets with player nicknames, a thermo cup, a headphone case, and various other souvenirs. And I should say that this is kinda cool. Even though it's still branded as the Perfect World company, I guess it's cool. At least I like it and I would like to get one. Additionally, players received large mouse pads. And obviously the atmosphere that's been missing from tournaments for a while. However, not everything is so perfect. Some players have already started complaining about the state of the PCs and desks. So according to Neil, issues at the previous major included non-adjustable desks and FPS below 300. 200, while at this major the FPS is stably over 300, but the desks are still non-adjustable. And also the endpoints manager has noted discomfort with the monitors, though the organizers have already stated that the same PCs will be used at the main stage of the RMRs, so I guess players will have to just adjust and deal with it. And my guys, we couldn't skip mentioning the most hyped team of the RMR and the entire major, I could say. I'm obviously talking about the Drillas. The team has officially arrived at the RMRs. Yeah, and their logo still features OniPixel's face, welcoming players at the door of the practice room and even on the bomber jackets and their patches provided by the organizers. The players and their coach already took part in the media day, capturing tons of cool photos, with Oni looking incredibly thrilled by the team's achievements. I remind you that originally the team was more of a joke, but now the players are starting to discuss serious contracts. OniPixel himself promised that if the players make it to the main stage of the major, he will just pay them the salary. He promised it to be $5,000 a month, which is $60,000 a year. But I remind you once again that for that to happen, they'll need to secure a spot in the tournament. Currently, their form is ranked in the top 4 at the Asian RMRs, but only 3 teams will qualify for the major itself. Their chance of making it to the major is like 35%, which is honestly quite impressive for a team of this level. Their first match will be against Vision, ranked 61st globally, while the Drillas are in the 91st place on HLTV. However, guys, with their recent roster changes and the addition of the former Bad News Eagles player, their chances seem to have improved. By the way, this change sparked a bit of controversy, as technically the lineup should now be competing in the European RMRs, not the Asian RMRs. But it seems that OniPixel managed to work things out with the organizers. Let's see, guys, what this team, initially formed as a joke, can accomplish, and if they will be able to earn those coveted stickers. I mean, just imagine OniPixel's face on a sticker in CS2. Oh my god, that would be crazy. Don't forget to write your thoughts about the Drillas in the comments below. And yeah, speaking of the major, let's talk about bugs in CS2. So recently, Stiko discovered an interesting Wallbang on Ancient that allows you to kill a CT side player right at the start of the round from the T side spawn. This happens because the bullet somehow travels under the map, which is incredibly odd and could give one team a significant advantage at the beginning of the round. Let's just hope, guys, that this bug will get fixed soon and that players will start avoiding it, as it's truly something unimaginable, to be honest. Yo, Valve, fix it right now, like, because it's the major itself. By the way, Stiko's colleague among analysts, M0NESY, seems to have identified the reason for Yekindar's recent slump. According to Maui, it might be related to depression. Maui noted that Marex no longer appears to be the cheerful, lively guy who first joined Liquid a long time ago. And honestly, I can't agree more. So to help Yekindar get back in shape, Maui advised him to get into sports and return to a healthy lifestyle to improve his mental well-being as well. Hopefully, this isn't entirely accurate, as recovering from such a state quickly is tough, and the player is on the verge of being dropped from Team Liquid, so I only wish Yekindar all the best, even despite what you guys were writing in the comments from the previous video. And yeah, my friends, since we're talking about roster changes, we couldn't skip mentioning the reshuffles happening before the RMRs. So Parivision decided to replace their coach Finn with the former VP coach Dastan. According to the organization, this change was mutually agreed upon. However, there's a catch. Dastan won't be able to stand behind the players and give guidance during the RMR tournament, because the roster lock still lists Finn, but it seems that behind closed doors he will be helping the team. It's worth noting that Parivision secured their spot at the RMR with a 3-1 score in the closed qualifiers. Interestingly, Dastan has previously worked with Kickert, which might make the team communication smoother. It could be trickier though with the younger players. And now, seriously guys, once again, if you'd like to see a video about young talents that will shine in 2025, please let us know in the comments below and vote with your likes. because it's really important for us to see what you're interested in. And now let's move on. So continuing with the topic of roster changes, we can't skip the recent reveal of the transfer fee for one of the most legendary CS players. As it turned out, Furia had to pay around 3.5 million reals, which is approximately $600,000 for Fallen. Interestingly, G2 paid a similar amount for M0NESY. So according to Furia's CEO, this transfer has boosted the club's media presence, and despite his age, Fallen remains a top-tier professional. Furia's analyst Innershine noted that Fallen's value could be even higher due to his media presence, experience, and professional approach, all of which justify the investment in this Brazilian legend. Guys, one of my friends who lives in Brazil and works with CS basically said to me that people in Brazil hated Furia for a long time after the SK drama or whatever it was. And when Furia signed Fallen, people just forgot about the hate. And all Brazil now loves Furia. If that's true, just let me know in the comments below, because it's really interesting to know. Brazilian fans are one of the best fans in the world, I really like them. So yeah, cheers to Brazil. And yeah, my friends, let's wrap up the video with a bittersweet note. Patrick F0REST Lindbergh has officially announced his retirement. The legendary player admitted that he still believed that he could compete at a higher level, but with rising stars like Bit, M0NESY and Donk on the scene, it's tough to keep up, even with his vast experience. He also reflected on why he never became the in-game leader despite his experience, explaining that aiming was always his top priority. It was either shoot well or not play at all for him. But this isn't the end of his journey in esports, as he's now the ambassador for Ninjas in Pajamas. His former club marked his return with a touching tribute video. Looking back at his career, F0REST played with an impressive 1.1 average rating since he started in 2003. In his 21 years of practice, he made 43 aces and earned $700,000 in prize money. Also, he won 8 MVP medals and claimed 23 titles. His win rate over his career stood at 58.6%, and 64.5% of his maps he ended with a rating above 1, which is basically almost 2/3 of his career. Insane numbers. Many players and CS personalities were shocked by his sudden retirement and shared heartfelt messages in support of the Swedish legend. His former teammate and close friend Get Right wrote a lengthy post thanking F0REST for their time together, also for his help and their lasting friendship. Other pros expressed their gratitude as well. Fallen thanked F0REST for everything he's done for CS and for inspiring so many, including himself, to play the game. Olofmeister praised F0REST, saying that over time he grew from a rival into a dear friend. Thorin noted that F0REST consistently ranked among the top players for 12 to 15 years, despite the age and other challenges. HNS described the day of F0REST's retirement as a day of mourning, as he was the last remaining player from NIP's golden lineup. We want to extend a special thanks to F0REST for a career filled with incredible highlights and unforgettable moments. Patrick, sincerely, thank you for the childhood memories, for inspiring so many of us to pick up the beloved game, and for everything. You are one of the greatest persons in CS history. Thank you, F0REST. Thank you. And that's all for today, my friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment below, as it helps to grow our channel. Don't forget that the Drillas will be playing at the RMR in just a couple of days. So we're not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.